So Roberto, you're in the Netherlands.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, at the moment.
Fantastic. Excellent, excellent. So, guys, for those of you tuning in, obviously, each time we have one of these webinars, we like to focus in on a football transfer forum partner, somebody that we like to work with, people that we really really rate, and obviously this week it is the turn of the European Football Agents Association. I'm just gonna share the slide that we're gonna go through. Roberto, here we go. So, Roberto, just talk to us about the European Football Agents Association, your role within it, and we're really interested to hear some of the things that you're working on at the moment. Obviously, a lot of the guys listening in today will either be agents or those working in football clubs that work with agents. And of course, we know we've been speaking about it for a while. There's some potentially big changes in the not too distant future. So, we're looking forward to learning from you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ryan. Well, it's a nice slide. I see there's the pre-beard era. So of the time that I was young and innocent. Well, AFA exists since 2007. AFA is, as seen on the slide, a not-for-profit organization, and it has as its members national agent associations. We are a European-oriented organization, but we have some affiliate members, and well, that gives us actually a worldwide scope. I think we're present now in almost every continent. We have Africa, we have Nigeria, Morocco as a member, Australia, Japan, Brazil, Argentina. So quite a wide network of members, and the key countries in Europe are member of AFA. So as said, members are national agent associations. So through that membership, we have a scope of around 1,500 agents that are connected directly or indirectly to AFA via their national association membership. The intention of AFA when we created it in 2007, and I have to say who is we, a number of influential agents. We currently have Rob Janssen with over 35 years of experience as our president, most recently in the news due to his transfer negotiations or contract negotiations for Ronald Koeman to Barcelona. But many others, obviously, in those over 3 decades. Giovanni Branchini is vice president. We have in our board Leon Angel from Base Soccer in the UK, and also representing the AFA in AFA. We have Bruno Satin representing the French Players Agents Association, and German. We have Germany present in the board, and we have Brazil present in the board via Marcos Mota, an influential lawyer that's there on behalf of the Brazilian Agent Association. So that kind of gives us a worldwide span. What have we accomplished? I think firstly, what we intended to accomplish was to create a better image of the activities of agents. I started this once together with Rob Janssen to take that initiative because I was researching the football law and football legislation and international football policy, let's put it like that. And I found out when speaking to agents that it was not my impression that every agent was a criminal. So I understood that there were many individual organizations that were already part of a collective, and by being part of that collective, they have been able to let their voice be heard in terms of developing policy, influencing policy that would help shape the landscape of the football industry. We have the clubs that are part of the ECA. We have players that are part of FIFPro. We have the associations, obviously part of FIFA and UEFA. We have the leagues, part of the European leagues. But whenever there was an issue that dealt with the transfer industry, it was always the player's agent that received the bad news and malpractices directed to the agent. And in my opinion, that was not correct, not consistent, and obviously not the total picture. So in order to better position the agent and to create a better image for the agent, we decided to create EFA via the structure that I just mentioned. I think it's almost undoable to create an efficient organization with all individual members. So if we would have 1,500 individual members directly member of EFA, it would be quite difficult. So this is the way we have structured it. At first, at the beginning, it was quite difficult to create a space in that arena where all the stakeholders were already present. So we have started to create a very good relationship with the European Commission. We received an official status as a sports organization with the European Commission, and that enabled us to be part of the discussions in relation to activities concerning players agents, and really gives us a head start when it comes to the applicability of European Union legislation to the activities of players agents, which is a very important aspect, because you know that the majority of the friction that derives from the application of regulations to players agents is always the friction between the rules and regulations of football associations and the free market rule, for example, free movement rules. In essence, is sports special enough that it should, without any barrier, regulate the activities of agents, for example, by imposing caps on the basis of sports specificity, need of protection of players, and so on and so on? Or do we also need to respect a certain form of freedom of the market and freedom of positioning in the market, and look at the agents as service providers and not directly a member of the football family? So that is where EFA has positioned itself in the beginning of its existence. I think that reflected on the agents in a positive way. It also secured a stronger position in the whole football policy spectrum and arena. And it gave us the opportunity to become a more respected sparring partner towards the other organizations. So now we have quite a good relationship with FIFPro. We have a good relationship with ECA, with whom we have talked already a lot in the past. But obviously, the most important relationship that you need to have in football when it comes to regulatory issues is with FIFA. And we had a little bit of a love-hate relationship in the last couple of years. But I think now we are in a position where we like to be, and I will elaborate on that in a minute maybe, because I would also like to say some other things that we have accomplished and I'm quite proud of. So maybe just let's focus on that before we start talking about the current situation in relation to regulations and principles that they're trying to work out in concrete regulations. What we are doing is not only focusing on regulating the actual activity, but also on the position of the agent in the football world, and not to close our eyes for problems and issues that are relevant and omnipresent in the football world. We have a collaboration with Mission 89. It's an organization that is quite active in fighting child trafficking and promoting communication in a transparent way towards talents and parents of talents. And we collaborate on various projects that they are carrying out. Well, basically the main issue in those projects is to communicate the activities of agents and to warn actually talented players about what is a real agent and when do you have to be very careful. Just got distracted there. When do you have to be careful when to approach an agent, and when it's a fake agent, for example. Well, we all know those issues, so we focus on that, and we're very happy to collaborate with Mission 89 in that. Next to that, we are promoting education of agents, continuous education of agents. That is something that we have already started to do for quite a while via our national member associations. We promote, for example, workshops for the national members, for example, Pro Agent in the Netherlands, DFAV in Germany. They all provide agents with some education concerning all topics that are relevant for agents, from tax, legal, insurance, and so on. So that's what we promote also. And when it comes to the regulatory aspects, where are we now with FIFA? FIFA, as you know, has presented some principles for the future regulation of agents. FIFA intends to implement new regulations by September 2021. In my opinion, it will be a little bit later than September 2021, but that is the route they've embarked on. They have developed some principles. We were, in essence, as AFA, quite happy with a lot of those principles, and I will tell you just in a short bit what principles we believe it's a no-brainer to support, but need some further fine-tuning in practice. But there were also two issues that were a little bit critical. Those were the issues concerning dual representation and concerning the envisaged caps on commissions. So we got into a little bit of a struggle with FIFA, because FIFA was of the opinion that AFA had been consulted in those principles, but we never had the feeling that we were properly consulted. So a little bit of friction was created there. And that led to a situation where AFA was forced to say, and follow the opinion of some other organizations, was forced to say that, hey, we have not been consulted, so we do not support any development in relation to future regulations if FIFA does not take the voice of the agents into proper consideration and invites us for a formal consultation. Because what we don't want is to be an organization that's just there for ticking the box by FIFA to say, hey, we've consulted the agents, so they're okay with this, so no problem, we will implement this. No, that's not the case. We believe that if some issues are not a part of a proper consultation, then we will not be able to support them. And then we believe that FIFA will have some problems also to duly implement new regulations, because the majority of the serious agents would be against the regulations. Okay, to become more concrete, what am I talking about? Let me first explain. Well, no, maybe it's better to say, where are we now? I think now, with the change of leadership at FIFA, first at presidential level, obviously, but now you see also that on the more administrative and the executive level, you see a lot of new faces. There are some people there that really are a breath of fresh air. Emilio Silva Garcia, who's there as the top lawyer, basically. Alistair Bell, who is now in a very high position at FIFA too. We have Luis Villas-Boas Pires, who is working as the head of intermediaries. We have James Kitchen, also a well-known sports lawyer now at FIFA. And we believe that their presence was the concretization of a change of view. And with those guys on board, and also with Desiree Ornella Bella and on board, we believe that there's now a changed vision and really an opening to include also other parties in negotiations and discussions and consultation concerning a new regulation. So with those people in, I think that the door is open now, and we have been more comfortable to receive from FIFA also the new regulations that they want to implement. So I think this week or the beginning of next week, we will receive from FIFA the draft regulations that they have now made on the basis of the principles that they have developed. And I don't know how those regulations look like, so please bear with me, and I hope to be able to share with you in the near future, maybe in the Doing Business In seminar series. So these are there already, Tony.
What's that? What did you say, Roberto?
Maybe to share with you
the
regulations in the Doing Business seminar series.
It sounds to me, Roberto, it sounds to me that we've got some sort of hot off the press. In a couple of weeks, FIFA will give you them, their draft, which is another step forward, I suppose. But it was a great link into the Doing Business in Germany series. Obviously, myself and Ryan and Guy from the Football Transfer Forum, we're really excited about sort of partnering up with Roberto and the guys at the European Football Agents Association. So, Roberto, would you just tell us a little bit about the Doing Business series, Doing Business In series?
Well, the doing business series in well, I just let me just can I just touch upon those issues in the regulations. So give me just one more minute, Tony.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
no.
go for it.
90% of the issues, because I think that's also relevant, 90% of the issues that are on the table now are supported by AFA. That is an international arbitration system making the lives of players, agents easier, a permanent education system that guarantees still a certain level of professionalism amongst agents. We believe that a stricter view concerning the transfer of minors is necessary. We believe that the licensing system is something that should be welcomed because it really creates at least a limited amount of credibility and professionalism. We would support the idea of a clearinghouse, to guarantee the proper payments of commissions and to avoid difficulties and disputes concerning those payments. And we are more critical towards caps on commissions and dual representations. But we have now learned from FIFA that the principles that they have applied to that are not set in stone, and that it's still possible to think about how to implement potential caps on commissions in the international football industry, caps on commissions of players agents. So that's just to finalize that, then you know what we are working on.
Great.
As mentioned, I think one of the foundations of AFA's view is permanent education and promoting professionalism. And that's why, I can speak on behalf of the AFA board and of the AFA organization, that we are very, very much, we're very happy to be able to collaborate with you guys in a series of seminars which touches upon the essence of what AFA believes is necessary to promote professionalism and education. It is a mix between some, you can even say, academic content, from certain level, credible level, supported by credible people, experts in the field, education, in combination with, not denying what an agent actually does. That's doing business in various markets in the international football industry. We all know that football is a cross-border industry, and that it is impossible for one agent to know all the specificities of all the markets in the world. So together with you, we're happy to have developed this idea of doing business in. We'll start with Germany. I believe we have the main European football nations in the pipeline, but this is a concept that is able to be expanded to basically every relevant country in the world, because we have the networks. So depending on the interest, and I believe that the interest is serious of the audience, we could focus on various markets. The Doing Business seminar in Germany will start with Gregor Reiter, if I'm correct, and Ilya Kenzig. Ilya has been a football administrator for many, many years already. So from his perspective of being a football director, in a club director, he could give us the view from that perspective. And Gregor will give us the view first from a regulatory aspect. Okay, what do you have to do as an agent? What do you need to take into consideration before you're actually able to do business in a country like Germany? So what are the prerequisites for actually being able to enter that market? Do I need to register? What do I need to pay for a registration? Does my representation agreement needs to meet certain standards that are different than the standards in my country of origin? What happens if I mandate another agent to collaborate with me? What are some issues that I need to take into consideration when I negotiate an employment contract with the player? All those specificities will be touched upon. So I think it's very practical information for an agent to be active in one specific industry. And I think it's indispensable to be aware of that information. I'm not saying that such a seminar would allow you to do a transfer deal 100% individually, because maybe you still need some collaboration with other agents, but at least now you know the foundation that you need to take into consideration. So that's for Germany, and that's quite soon already. And I really look forward to start that with you. And I'm quite happy for all the energy that you're giving us, and the framework. So I believe that it's a match made in heaven, gents.